Thank you, Brigade of Guards. Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together one more time for the Nigerian president?
Merci,
and the
Votre
message is
Excellence.
very clear: seize the moment.
Merci, Votre Excellence.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll have three of our presidents who are already in the room here speak to us. I will be kicking off with His Excellency Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia.
Son Excellence, Président Joseph Boakai, République du Liberia.
Your Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCF Para, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Chairperson of the ECOWAS Authority of Head of State and Government, Your Excellencies Presidents and Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS Authority, esteemed leaders of ECOWAS, commissions, honorable ministers, representatives of international organizations, private sector and NGOs, trade representatives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to join this important gathering of heads of state and government, economic policymakers, business leaders, and regional stakeholders who remain committed to the cause of peaceful, prosperous, and integrated West Africa in this gathering of leaders. On behalf of the government and people of Liberia, I bring you warm greetings and best wishes for a productive and inspiring summit. Let me first extend special appreciation to my friend and brother, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairperson of ECOWAS Authority, Ministerial of State and Government, for his visionary leadership for convening this timely strategic summit. This summit has been held in the ambience of our community's Golden Jubilee, provides a vital platform for reflection, coordination, and renewed commitment to the economic transformation of our sub-region. Even after 50 years of our extensive existence and work, the challenges we face are still present and complex, but they are not insurmountable. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to officially inform this distinguished gathering of Liberia's recent election to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the 2026-2027 term. This milestone would not have been possible without the support, encouragement, and endorsement of member states in this very room. Liberia is humbled by this vote of confidence. We view it not only as a national honor, but as a reflection of our collective aspiration to contribute meaningfully to global peace, dialogue, and multilateralism. We pledge to carry this mandate with humility and responsibility, drawing on Liberia's unique post-conflict experience and our unwavering belief in democracy, diplomacy, peace building, and international cooperation. Your Excellencies, as we chart a path toward economic renewal, consistent with a well-thought our theme of this summit, Liberia strongly supports the African Continental Free Trade Area as a transformative platform for economic integration. Our budgetary priorities are increasingly focused on sustainable agriculture and rural transformation, aligning with AFCFTA's goals. We are investing in road networks, port infrastructure, and to support seamless movement of goods and services across our borders. This action reflects Liberia's determination to play an active role in the regional and continental value chain. Liberia has also identified several priority sectors for strategic investment. Agriculture, where we seek to scale productivity, increase food security, and promote agribusiness. Ports and logistics, where efforts are underway to modernize the Freeport of Monrovia and other key gateways to improve competitiveness and trade efficiency. Energy, where we are expanding access to affordable and reliable electricity to support economic diversification and industrial development. Digital economy, where we are investing in infrastructure and human capital to enable innovation and position Liberia as a destination for technology-driven enterprise. We are working in close coordination with ECOWAS and the Mano River Union to harmonize policies, reduce trade barriers, and enhance competitiveness. Through the implementation of our recently launched Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, Liberia is pursuing comprehensive reform to foster economic growth, strengthen institutions, and improve public service delivery. Our vision is to transform Liberia into a stable, transparent, and attractive destination for private sector investment and inclusive development. Excellencies, distinguished heads of government and delegation, ladies and gentlemen, peace and stability are the foundation upon which our economic aspirations must rest. Liberia remains fully committed to promoting productive sub-regional interaction, peace, national cohesion, and democratic governance throughout the region. We continue to avail ourselves to ECOWAS community in critical areas of mediation, conflict prevention, and post-crisis stabilization. At the 66th Ordinary Session of ECOWAS Authority, Liberia called for renewed dialogue with member states who have taken a divergent path. Today, I wish to echo that appeal. We must keep the door open for engagement and reconciliation, especially to our sister states that have unfortunately exceeded the community. With Liberia's ascension to the Security Council, we are determined to be a principal voice for the region, advocating for just solutions to global and regional challenges and advancing the values that unite us. I commend each of you for your steadfast leadership and for efforts you continue to make in advancing the goals of economic integration and prosperity. Let us seize the opportunity to deepen our collaboration, mobilize our collective resources, and transform the potential of our region into lasting progress for our people. Long live the economic community of West African states. I thank you, and may God Almighty continue to bless us. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Merci, Votre Excellence.
Thank you very much. And so, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our next president to speak to us, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Le prochain président sera Son Excellence Président Julius Maada Bio, République de Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, President of the ECOWAS Commission, captains of industry present here today, our revered traditional leaders that are with us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to address this esteemed gathering, united to unlock the potential of our great region. I would like to express first my profound gratitude to you, our host, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for your vision in bringing us all together for this summit. I also want to thank the organizers and partners of this vital summit for their commitment to enhancing trade and investment in Africa, especially West Africa. I appreciate the opportunity today to share Sierra Leone's perspective on regional integration and prosperity. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, West Africa has significant potential due to its abundant natural resources and a dynamic youth population, as has been alluded to already. This potential must be unlocked through strategic integration, especially in the light of rising public debt, the climate vulnerability, food insecurity, and geopolitical uncertainties affecting our economies. As leaders facing global economic competition, we must take decisive actions to accelerate regional integration programs, vital for our economic growth and shared prosperity. This needs improved collaboration, policy alignment, and a commitment to strengthening our economies, especially its competitiveness through the ECOWAS protocols and AFCFTA. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, trade integration must start with a strong political commitment from all member states. We should engage in key regional initiatives such as the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme in order to reduce tariffs and barriers, and a common external tariff to harmonize trade policies. In Sierra Leone, a significant number of our companies have authorized products registered under the ETLS. We are, of course, modernizing our customs infrastructure by implementing the Asikuda Award system and improving trade data classification and collection. Efforts are underway to implement ECOWAS biometric ID cards in line with free movement protocol thereby strengthening regional mobility. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to deepen and boost intra-regional competitiveness, we must accelerate progress towards monetary union. A single regional currency would reduce exchange rate costs, support price stability in our region, and improve the business environment. Securing funds is a significant challenge for our businesses in West Africa. We need to adopt innovative financing models to develop essential infrastructure like roads, rails, ports, air transport systems, which will enhance connectivity, reduce logistic costs, and facilitate the movement of our people and goods in the sub-region. Participation in regional projects like the West African Pool is an imperative. Expanding electricity access and lowering energy costs will make our region more attractive to investors and support industrial growth. Strengthening regional stock exchanges and harmonizing capital markets is essential also for enhancing financial integration and unlocking investment flows. Our youth, the heartbeat of our continent, must be empowered to thrive across this region. Therefore, we need to invest in the skills, support their startups, as they are the innovators and entrepreneurs who will lead us in future. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we anticipate the summit's outcomes, we must act decisively to tackle ongoing challenges, including insecurity, macroeconomic imbalances, hindering convergence, and institutional constraints, slowing the region's integration. Harmonizing ECOWAS policies in trade, customs, quality standards, statistical systems, and fiscal regimes for managing natural resources is vital for our desired growth and prosperity. Let us continue to engage development partners, investors, policymakers, and citizens to drive industrialization, economic diversification, and shared opportunity in the ECOWAS region. I reaffirm, ladies and gentlemen, Sierra Leone's unwavering commitment to regional integration and prosperity for all. Our government values strategic partnerships and invites private sector actors, development partners, and other governments to collaborate in agriculture, mining, energy, tourism, and the digital economy for sustainable growth and social progress. On that note, I thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for your work in integrating the region. Thank you for your love of the people within the region. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the last president to speak before the representatives or the presidents speak will be the President of the Republic of Benin, His Excellency Patrice Talon.
Le Président de la République du Bénin, Son Excellence Président Patrice Talon.
And then my sister here will do the direct translation. We can do from here.
Bon.
Oui, c'est bon.
Monsieur le Président Ahmed Tinubu, chers grands frères et amis,
Your Excellency, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, my friend and brother.
Monsieur le Président, ici présent, chers amis,
Other presidents present here, dear friends.
Messieurs les membres de délégation, les ministres ici présents et les diverses autorités nigérianes,
Members of other ministers, members of the delegation here present.
c'est un honneur pour moi, un plaisir de participer à ce sommet et je voudrais en féliciter le président Tinubu pour son initiative.
It's an honor and pleasure for me to be with you today, and I would like to thank and honor His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu for having me here today and for this initiative.
Ce sommet arrive à point nommé parce que notre région traverse une crise de confiance et de partenariat affirmé.
This summit is in perfect timing as our regions come together for further integration.
Nous avons une institution régionale, la CEDEAO, qui est un bel instrument de coopération et d'intégration, mais qui malheureusement, ces temps-ci, est en crise.
ECOWAS is a perfect example of regional integration, but unfortunately right now, our ECOWAS is in crisis.
Mais ceci ne doit pas nous paralyser et nous empêcher d'aller à l'essentiel qui est un véritable besoin d'intégration de nos communautés, tout au moins au plan économique.
This, however, should not prohibit us from further regional integration.
Notre idéal d'avoir une intégration régionale qui concerne l'économie, la sécurité, la politique, la démocratie, les libertés est en mal. Mais le besoin d'une intégration économique est indispensable et je remercie le président Tinubu d'avoir initié ce sommet.
The ideal for the region would be further integration from a political perspective, economic perspective, and he thanks His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his efforts towards this.
L'Afrique a les mêmes idéaux que le reste du monde.
Répétez s'il vous plaît.
L'Afrique a les mêmes idéaux que le reste du monde.
Africa has the best ideas in comparison to the rest of the world.
Ce n'est pas la volonté qui nous manque,
It's not the will of not wanting to do that is missing,
mais nous ne parvenons pas à faire aboutir nos idéaux.
Répétez s'il
Nous
vous
ne
plaît.
parvenons pas, nous ne réussissons pas à faire aboutir notre idéal.
The only issue that we face is that we are not able to realize our ideas.
Et notre échec principal, et qui est la cause de notre sous-développement, c'est bien notre incapacité à mettre en œuvre notre idéal.
Our main prohibition and our main issue and blockage is our ability to put forth our ideas.
Et ceci est de la responsabilité de nos leaders, nos responsables.
And this is our leaders' responsibility.
C'est de la responsabilité de nos collaborateurs, c'est-à-dire les ministres.
It's the responsibility of the ministers and our collaborators.
C'est de la responsabilité des cadres de nos ministères.
It's the responsibility of the ministries.
C'est de la responsabilité de notre administration globale.
It's the responsibility of our global administration.
Ce sont donc l'ensemble des divers responsables de l'Afrique, du plus haut niveau jusqu'au plus bas, qui sont responsables de la non-mise en œuvre de notre idéal.
It's the responsibility of, it goes from the top to the bottom, from leaders and the populations themselves to put our ideas forth and to make them come to fruition.
Et c'est pour cela, Monsieur le Président Ahmed Tinubu, que votre appel à une action commune pour la complémentarité et l'intégration de notre économie, qui relève du rôle des chefs d'État que nous sommes, est à saluer.
And this is exactly why His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu's efforts towards regional integration should be commended.
Mais s'il est évident qu'un chef d'État ne peut pas à lui tout seul mettre en œuvre un idéal pour son aboutissement, il est donc évident que la suite relève essentiellement de ceux qui nous accompagnent dans la gouvernance globale.
It's evident that His Excellency cannot do this on his own, and we require the support of our global partners and collaborators.
Ce n'est pas pour moi une manière d'excuser les chefs d'État et d'exprimer que notre rôle dans notre échec est infime. Non, nous avons notre part de responsabilité dans l'échec. Je vais parler des chefs d'État, des principaux responsables au sommet de l'État. Mais cette responsabilité de cet échec ne relève pas seulement de cette insuffisance des chefs d'État que nous sommes.
And this is not to excuse the responsibility of the various heads of states. It's just to reinforce that collaboration is necessary in order for us to reach our goals.
Mon message est une adresse à l'ensemble de la communauté ouest-africaine et principalement à ceux qui sont en charge dans l'administration, dans la mise en œuvre des politiques déterminées par les plus hauts responsables pour prendre conscience, pour se ressaisir et pour une véritable relève de notre sous-continent, l'Afrique de l'Ouest, et pourquoi pas de toute l'Afrique.
My message and address is essentially to reinforce the renewal that is necessary within the ECOWAS region from the leadership perspective and from the different heads of state.
Quand je la suis, ça n'y est pas.
Mr. President, if you don't mind. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
Merci. Ceci est une preuve de notre incapacité à nous intégrer parce que nous ne parlons pas tous la même langue, aussi dans une région qui n'est pas...
This is the proof that we are not able to integrate ourselves because all of us, we are not speaking the same language and it's difficult for us to understand each other.
Je voudrais qu'à l'avenir, même si l'anglais est la langue la plus partagée au monde et que chacun des Africains doit parler l'anglais, mais je suis trop vieux pour apprendre l'anglais, que prochainement nous puissions nous communiquer, nous échanger en Yoruba, en Swahili ou en Hausa.
I'm too old to learn English, but I hope that in the future, and even if I recognize that all Africans should speak English, I hope that in the future we should have this type of discussion in Yoruba, Hausa, or Swahili.
Je vais répéter ou réaffirmer ce que je disais à l'endroit de la chaîne de responsabilité dans la gouvernance globale.
I will say again what I was saying before regarding the responsibility of all different stakeholders in terms of governance.
J'adressais donc mon message à nous-mêmes chefs d'État pour dire combien nous sommes aussi responsables de notre échec commun, du fait que nous ne parvenons pas à mettre en œuvre notre idéal que nous partageons avec le reste du monde.
I was saying that we as the head of state, we have our own responsibility in our failure to achieve and deliver our vision, the vision we have for Africa, and we probably share this ambition with all over the rest of the world.
Mais cet échec est également de la responsabilité de nos collaborateurs directs, des ministres par exemple.
But this failure, it's also the responsibility of our direct collaborators, for instance, the ministers.
C'est aussi la responsabilité des cadres qui sont dans les ministères et qui animent globalement l'administration publique.
It's also the responsibility of all different type of people working within our different administration.
Nos peuples sont prêts pour l'intégration. Nos hommes d'affaires, nos acteurs économiques sont prêts pour l'intégration.
Our people, our citizens are ready for integration. Our business leaders, our businessmen are ready for integration.
Tellement les responsables politiques, tellement l'administration ne fait pas ce qu'il faut, que nos populations, nos hommes d'affaires sont obligés de contourner les obstacles de l'administration, d'avoir affaire à l'informel pour échanger entre les communautés d'un pays à l'autre.
As we as administration and leader, we are not doing our job. We are not deliver what they need. Our business leaders, our people, they have to go beyond the law and smuggle most of the time. So they are working not in line with formal economy.
Quand on observe les efforts que font nos communautés pour donner un contenu réel à l'intégration et en contournant ainsi l'administration, en étant dans l'informel, nous devrons, mes chers présidents, mes chers collègues, mes chers grands frères, nous devrons, chers ministres, chers responsables de l'administration, prendre un nouveau départ pour sortir l'Afrique de la pauvreté en passant par l'intégration effective.
When we look at the ingenuity of our citizens, of our business leaders, of our people trying to put in place and give reality to this integration, all the ingenuity they put in place to go over the rule we put in place, and the fact that with this ingenuity they are developing a very strong informal economy, we as a leader, we as ministers and the different stakeholders, we should do what we have to do to help them give birth to this integration.
Le marché africain, le marché ouest-africain est le plus apte, le marché qui donne le plus de potentiel à une intégration permettant une économie prospère. Nous sommes des économies qui se complètent comme nulle part ailleurs. Et pourtant, nous sommes dans le monde l'économie la moins intégrée régionale.
Even if our sub-region, West Africa, is the region in the world with the best potentiality in terms of integration, because our economies are complementary each other, we are unfortunately one of the regions where integration is not yet there.
Je vais vous donner un exemple.
I'll give you one example.
Nous avons mis en place, avec une certaine satisfaction dans le passé, le WAPCO, cette organisation qui fait que le gaz passe du Nigeria jusqu'au Ghana en traversant le Bénin et le Togo pour alimenter les besoins en énergie et en production électrique. Et au moment où ça a été fait, le débit était compatible avec les besoins. Aujourd'hui, cet instrument, cette organisation, cet outil ne répond plus aux besoins, est trop faible pour alimenter nos divers pays en gaz. Le Bénin essaye depuis quelque temps d'avoir du gaz, soit par le Ghana, soit par le Nigeria, au-delà de ce qui est offert à travers WAPCO. Mais jusqu'à la date d'aujourd'hui, nos diverses administrations n'ont pas été capables d'accompagner cet organisme pour aller au-delà de ce qui a été fait et qui est embryonnaire dans le passé et qui ne suffit plus aujourd'hui à satisfaire les besoins. Le Bénin est en train d'installer une plateforme FSRU pour importer du gaz liquéfié du Qatar, pour le regazéifier sur cette plateforme et servir son industrie. C'est une aberration.
Few decades back, we put in place this wonderful infrastructure, the West African gas pipeline, bringing gas from Nigeria to Ghana through Benin and Togo. This infrastructure is very important because it helps each country to develop the electricity market. But at the time, now today, the capacity and the needs in terms of gas increase in both countries, in all countries across the West African gas pipeline. In Benin, for example, we are trying to increase the capacity we are buying from this pipeline. But unfortunately, our administration are not allowing Benin to import more gas, either from Nigeria or from Ghana. And to strengthen the economical, the electricity production in Benin, now, because this infrastructure is not working, Benin is building an FSRU to import gas from Qatar or from other places of the world. This is completely insane.
Nous avons cette même aberration au niveau du marché de l'électricité. Nous avons mis en place une structure régionale pour le marché de l'électricité. Mais il ne fonctionne pas et je doute qu'il soit capable de fonctionner dans les années à venir.
We have this same situation when it comes to West African power pool. We put this wonderful infrastructure in place. We invest a lot of money, but unfortunately, this is not working, and I'm not sure that in the future, this will work.
Mais un autre exemple plus banal qui concerne nos concitoyens ordinaires qui veulent aller de Lagos à Abidjan et qui doivent traverser le Bénin, le Togo, le Ghana avant d'y aller. Les routes existent, mais à cause des tracasseries qu'on observe sur nos frontières, sur nos voies, il faut plus d'une journée pour aller de Lagos à Abidjan.
I will take another example, and this concerns directly our citizens. For our citizens who want to travel from Lagos to Abidjan today, we have the road in place, but unfortunately, due to different checkpoints, border harassment, etc., they have to use more than one day to go from Lagos to Abidjan.
Si nous voulons intégrer nos économies, faciliter les échanges, et qu'un homme d'affaires qui doit aller à Abidjan en quelques minutes, par la route, doit mettre un jour, 2 jours, et parfois même dormir à une frontière, parce qu'on lui réclame un document qui n'a pas de sens, parce qu'on veut qu'il paye, qu'il ne veut pas payer. Monsieur le Président, Messieurs les Présidents, nous ne parviendrons jamais à impulser une véritable intégration de nos économies.
If we want a real integration, but for a businessman who wants to go from Lagos to Abidjan to do a business, he needs to do it in just a few hours. But if he has to spend 1 day, 2 days at the border because border people are asking him for a specific document he didn't have, or they are asking him to pay, unfortunately, we will never achieve integration in our region.
Mes chers amis,
my dear friends,
ce message que je adresse ici à Abuja s'adresse à ceux qui sont dans la salle, mais surtout à ceux qui ne sont pas ici, qui vont nous écouter, qui nous écoutent à la radio, à la télévision, dans nos divers pays, que ce soit le Nigeria, au Bénin, au Togo, au Ghana, en Sierra Leone. Ce message s'est adressé à eux. Il est temps que l'Afrique fasse les efforts nécessaires. Il est temps que nos administrations, nos politiques, fassent les efforts nécessaires pour réellement intégrer nos économies, parce que si nous ne parvenons pas à le faire, nous resterons dans une communauté de pauvreté.
The message I want to share here today, and I want to share it not only with the people in this room in this, venue, I want to share it also with people who are listening to us from outside. And the message is clear. If we are not able to tackle all those issues, we will never be able to tackle poverty in our region. And our region will still remain a poor region.
Je veux dire à nos compatriotes que si nous ne partageons pas le même idéal démocratique, que si nous ne partageons pas le même idéal de liberté, que si nous ne partageons pas le même idéal politique, c'est moins grave que de ne pas partager le même idéal économique.
I want to tell our fellow citizens that if we do not share the same vision in terms of democracy, if you do not share the same vision in terms of freedom, it's not so important than if we are not sharing the same vision in terms of economy and economical integration.
L'économie, c'est la survie. Et la pauvreté est la mère de toutes les catastrophes. Si nous ne parvenons pas à sortir nos pays de la pauvreté, la démocratie sera compromise. Les libertés seront compromises, la politique sera compromise.
Poverty is the main threat to stability. It's a main threat for democracy, for security. If we are not able to tackle poverty, we will still be in face of multiple challenges in our region.
Je ne banalise pas l'idéal de démocratie qui est important. Je ne banalise pas l'idéal de liberté qui est important parce que ça concourt de la dignité humaine. Mais je veux dire que ces idéaux qui sont majeurs et supérieurs peuvent être mis en cause par la pauvreté si nous ne faisons pas les actions qu'il faut pour nous développer collectivement.
I'm not putting aside the question of democracy. I'm not undermining, the question of democracy or the question of freedom. But I'm just saying that if we are not able to solve the issue of economical integration, creation of wealth, development of our region, all of the other values, we cannot push them forward.
Je vais finir mes propos en indiquant la situation dans laquelle le monde se trouve aujourd'hui et qui nous interpelle. Le monde entier, notamment les pays développés, les autres régions du monde, sont rentrés dans une phase de défiance de la coopération internationale. La coopération internationale n'est plus aujourd'hui un idéal universel.
I want to finish by saying that the situation, the geopolitical situation in which we are today is showing us clearly that there is a large part of the world who are no more in the idea of promoting international cooperation. They definitely want to put aside international cooperation.
L'aide internationale n'existe plus et n'existera plus.
International aid, development aid, will no more exist in the future.
Et le seul moyen pour nous, pour nos populations, de sortir de la pauvreté est que nous fassions les efforts qu'il faut sur nous-mêmes pour nous développer.
And the only way for us, for our population, to get out of poverty is definitely by us doing the right effort, the effort we need in order to get them out of poverty.
Les États-Unis sont en train de nous donner une leçon incroyable. On observe le pays le plus puissant du monde, économiquement le plus puissant, qui est en train de défendre ses intérêts au centime près, au mépris de la coopération internationale.
United States, they are showing us, they are giving us a very important lesson. We are talking about the largest economy of the world, and today they are fighting for their own interests, even for one penny.
Cette déclaration, à la limite de guerre commerciale, que les États-Unis ont déclarée au monde entier, est une façon de nous réveiller.
The trade war United States opened with the rest of the world should be a wake-up call for us.
À la limite, nous devrions saluer le président Trump pour ce coup de fouet qu'il nous donne.
At some point, we should.
À la limite, nous devrions saluer le président Trump pour ce coup de fouet qu'il nous donne.
At some point, we should, greet President Trump for, this wake-up call he's giving us.
J'ai envoyé la semaine, il y a quelques jours, au ministre des Finances porter un message au président Tinubu pour la préparation de ce sommet. Et j'ai prié donc le grand frère Tinubu d'accepter que le Bénin et le Nigeria soient les pionniers du passage à un nouveau palier en termes d'intégration. Nous sommes de la CEDEAO, nous avons des textes extraordinaires concernant l'économie, concernant l'intégration, mais on n'a pas beaucoup bougé. Comme j'ai demandé au président Tinubu que le Bénin était prêt pour être un pionnier avec le Nigeria, pour passer une étape réelle, concrète d'une intégration économique.
Few days back, in preparation of this important summit, I sent a special envoy to my big brother, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to send him a message saying we should work together because we have a beautiful agreement within ECOWAS, but this is not working. And my message was, let us work together, Benin and Nigeria, to show that it's possible to be more and effective, on an effective way, integrated.
Et je voudrais, pour finir maintenant, parce que j'ai déjà beaucoup parlé, pour finir, je voudrais dire et vous prendre à témoin, prendre toute la salle à témoin, prendre les citoyens du Nigeria, du Bénin à témoin, que le président Tinubu et moi, nous sommes d'accord pour que le Bénin et le Nigeria intègrent leur économie de manière effective. Nous sommes d'accord. Nous avons donné les consignes qu'il faut à nos divers collaborateurs. Et maintenant, je veux interpeller mes ministres, y compris celui qui est en train de faire la traduction. Celle qui est assise, mon ministre du Commerce, ceux qui sont dans la salle. J'interpelle les ministres du président Tinubu qui sont derrière lui, la ministre du Commerce tout à l'heure qui est passée, pour que notre volonté, notre instruction d'aller plus loin dans notre intégration soit une réalité et c'est désormais de leur responsabilité.
I want to say in front of all of you here that President Tinubu and myself, we agree on this real and full integration between Benin and Nigeria. We are already agreed on this. We instruct our respective team. And now, in front of all of you, I want to put the responsibility on the different ministers, including the one doing the translation today, to deliver this instruction. I want all the ministers behind President Tinubu, my ministers in charge of trade, minister in charge of trade of Nigeria, and all of you, to deliver this for our people.
Président Tinubu, il faudrait que vous et moi, que le Bénin et le Nigeria, qui sont deux pays siamois, du sud au nord, nous sommes exactement les mêmes. À tout point de vue, je voudrais que nous soyons les pionniers de cette nouvelle dynamique.
Your Excellency, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I want that you and I, because Benin and Nigeria are like siamois, twin, not twin, it's more than twin. They are linked up together. We are exactly the same people, the same citizen from north to south. We should show that it's possible to deliver this integration.
Dieu bénisse l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Merci.
God bless West Africa. Thank you very much.
That was fantastic from the President of Benin Republic and your translator. Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for this young lady here? who also started the translation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the organizer just told us that we have simultaneous translation going on in the booth. Just take the headset. English is on channel 1, French on channel 2, Portuguese on channel 3, so you'll be able to follow what we're doing. We'll quickly take the representatives of the presidents. Thank you. The representative of the presidents, if we can get just 2 minutes, 3 minutes from the honorable ministers, will be very right. You'll be on the Senegalese minister now.
Absolutely, because Senegal is my country. So His Excellency President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, from the Republic of Senegal, represented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and African Integration of the Republic of Senegal, Her Excellency Madame Yacine Fall, Ministre des Affaires étrangères et de l'intégration africaine de la République du Sénégal, Son Excellence Madame Yacine Fall. Let's put our hands together for her, please, as she comes onto the stage.
Honorable Minister, you come here. Yes, here.
Thank you very much. I will speak in English so that I can save time. Your Excellency, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Royal Fathers, Excellency, Heads of State and Government, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President of ECOWAS Commission, distinguished guests. I would like to convey to you the warm greetings of your brother, Excellency, Mr. Bassirou Diomaye Diakhar Faye, President of the Republic of Senegal, who just arrived right now and was not able to attend because of other responsibilities. Your Excellency, Mr. President, President Bassirou Diomaye Faye asked me to express his sincere thanks to you for the great honor of inviting him to this first West African Economic Summit. He values this invitation deeply and congratulates you on the relevance of the chosen theme, unleashing trade and investment opportunities in West Africa. This initiative, which seeks to open up our thinking, our reflection, and guidances on ways to revitalize inter-regional trade and investment, comes at a very timely moment. The global economy is currently shaken by multiple crises, from geopolitical tensions and unilateral increase of customs tariffs, which are restructuring international trade, even to the detriment of certain economies, including West Africa. Added to this is our context of challenging and complex access to credit for our countries in Africa. This is why today's need for regional integration is no longer an option. It is a necessity for survival. And I like really what the person was saying earlier regarding Africa does not need charity. Africa can develop itself, and West Africa can develop itself. The new environment calls for robust strategies from our region that is endowed, countries individually as well as collectively. West Africa is endowed by natural resources, endowed by energy resources, endowed by a very vibrant young population that are fearless and that have no complexity to move, and a vibrant private sector. It is up to us to put them to task and enable them to really deliver. And this is why Senegal has proposed to its citizens and to West Africa for integration, Senegal 2050, the national transformation agenda for Senegal that is really calling for sovereignty, justice, and transformation for our economy, but from a sub-regional integration that is very important. That's why my ministry is called Ministry of African Integration and Foreign Affairs. In order for us to deliver on our respective agendas and strategies, we have no choice but working towards integration. I think the heads of states that have spoken here have all really highlighted what are the challenges, what needs to be done, and how can we move forward. From the top level, government, president, to administration, to also supporting our youth, supporting women, but also unleashing investment. But investment cannot come from outside. It has to come from West Africa. And we know we have a dynamic private sector. We have very, very much business tycoons that if they create the enabling environment for them to be the priority for investment, they can really unleash the financial resources that we need, because we do have the other resources. West Africa is one of the regions with the highest return on investment in the world. So these mechanisms must be put in place to showcase this enormous potential and to provide the right incentive to attract and support African investors. Your Excellency, Mr. President, today, more than ever, we must collectively find ways to remove obstacles that are fully preventing commercial integration and opportunities. I think President Talon has really spent a lot of time, but was very needed though, to explain us and really identify these challenges that are macro level, micro level, but are also human challenges that really prevent the thriving of even market women, of informal sector, of our people that are really together collectively going to moving this economy, West African economy forward. Today, unleashing trade investment potential requires proactive strategies from outset to eliminate all barriers to trade and to support regional businesses. It is also encouraging, though, to note that West Africa already possesses relevant instruments to support development of inter-trade relations, and such as the Trade Liberalization Scheme and the Common External Market Tariff. These instruments exist. The problem is how do we implement them? How do we really put them in motion today? And I think that all the challenges that we face should enable us to do that. It is also encouraging to see that, this summit lays the groundwork, really, and this was really needed for us to get together and think about this. It lays the groundwork for a collective assessment. I think some of the speakers have made that, but, assessment of implementation of our regional instrument. They exist. They are really an example of integration, economic integration. It is a matter of implementing them, and I think we should go head on to make sure that happens. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We'd probably like to appeal that the honorable ministers that will come here, the shorter the better, maybe 3 minutes will be fine. The next one will be coming from Gambia, representing the president here, Honorable Boubacar Ousmaila Diouf, will be delivering a speech on behalf of His Excellency the President of Gambia.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Federal President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and other presidents here present, other colleague ministers, senior ministers of foreign affairs, business community, representatives of civil society organizations. I have the honor to present to you the statement of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, who is currently engaged in other state matters that were actually confirmed before this invitation was received. This event is not only a testament to Nigeria's unwavering commitment to regional integration, but also a timely platform to rekindle the vision of a prosperous and united West Africa. The founding fathers of ECOWAS envisioned a West Africa where borders would not divide but unite us, where trade and investment would flow unhindered, and where our collective strength would uplift every citizen. They believed in economic integration as a cornerstone of sustainable development. It is wise, therefore, that we are here to renew that vision by unlocking trade and investment opportunities as critical drivers of sustainable development. As we pursue regional prosperity, however, we must equally foster unity as a region and a people with a common destiny. On behalf of the government and people of the Gambia, I extend profound appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his exemplary leadership and foresight. This summit demonstrates Nigeria's unwavering commitment to advancing the integration agenda of ECOWAS and the African Union. The theme, unlocking trade and investment opportunities in the region, could not be more pertinent. West Africa is endowed with vast natural resources, a dynamic youth population, and a growing entrepreneurial spirit that embraces innovation and technology. Despite such positive dynamics, intra-ECOWAS trade remains low at below 15%. In addition, given our vast potential, our economic transformation efforts in West Africa continue to be constrained by infrastructure deficits, trade barriers, limited access to finance, and compounding security concerns. To move forward, Mr. President, we must continue to strengthen regional cooperation, invest more in digital technologies, boost the competitive business environment, and empower the private sector, especially our dynamic young innovators, to harness cross-border opportunities. I commend ECOWAS for the efforts made towards harmonizing our trade policies and getting focused on accelerating the implementation of the AfCFTA to leverage these opportunities. We must enhance better connectivity, facilitate cross-border commerce. We have to also invest in regional infrastructure development, including digital infrastructure. In line with the National Development Plan of the Gambia and broader ECOWAS integration agenda, we have taken concrete steps to position the Gambia as an attractive investment destination. We recognize the importance of trade and investment integration for sustainable growth and have thus embarked on implementing vital initiatives to strengthen our trade and investment landscape. These include prioritizing the implementation of the AfCFTA. The Gambia government is fully committed to AfCFTA and has taken steps to ratify and domesticate its protocols. We are currently implementing our national AfCFTA implementation strategy with attention cast on streamlining customs procedures, reducing trade barriers, and creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Furthermore, we are reviewing our investment regime to align it with the AfCFTA protocol on investment to attract both domestic and foreign investment. I assure you, Mr. President and Your Excellencies, that the Gambia will remain steadfast in creating an enabling environment for investment. In fact, through policy reforms, infrastructure development, and public-private partnerships, we are furthering our transformation agenda and promoting investment in infrastructure development, modern agriculture, tourism, industrialization, ICT, real estate development, and renewable energy to drive inclusive growth. These efforts are yielding results with increased foreign direct investment realized in key sectors and our growing reputation as a stable democracy. We are strongly determined to sustain these gains and consolidate good governance, the rule of law, and constitutional order. It is critical that we embrace the fact that our national successes are interlinked and tied to the prosperity of West Africa as a whole. The best option for us, therefore, is to unite and collaborate. Fortunately, this summit is an invaluable high-level forum for leaders, partners, and stakeholders to share experiences, strengthen networks, and form partnerships for greater trade and investment integration in West Africa. This cannot be attained in the absence of a peaceful and secure environment. It is essential, therefore, that sustained peace and stability in West Africa becomes the business of all, governments, private sector, and civil society alike. A secure and stable environment is the solid foundation for economic growth, trade, and investment in the region. I reaffirm the Gambia's unwavering commitment to ECOWAS and the collective pursuit of regional unity, economic transformation, and sustainable development. Indeed, we are more than willing to collaborate with all member states of the region to translate our collective commitment into tangible progress. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. To address us next is the representative of His Excellency President H.E. Alassane Ouattara, is the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and African Integration, Mr. Leone Kaku Adom.
Son Excellence Léon Kaku Adom, ministre des Affaires étrangères, de l'intégration africaine de la Côte d'Ivoire.
Excellences, M. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, président de la République fédérale du Nigeria et président de la conférence des chefs d'État et de gouvernement de la CEDEAO, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs d'État et de gouvernement, Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres, Monsieur le Président de la Commission de la CEDEAO, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs de mission et techniques, honorables chefs traditionnels, distingués dirigeants et représentants du secteur privé, Mesdames et Messieurs de la presse, honorables invités, Mesdames et Messieurs. Le président de la République de Côte d'Ivoire, son Excellence M. Alassane Ouattara, retenu à Abidjan par d'importants engagements pris de longue date, n'a pu effectuer le voyage d'Abuja. Il a bien voulu me faire un insigne honneur en me chargeant de vous délivrer son message ci-après, et je cite. Je voudrais avant tout propos saluer chaleureusement mon frère, le président Ahmed Tinubu, et lui exprimer ma gratitude pour l'accueil fraternel réservé à la délégation de mon pays, conduite par le ministre des Affaires étrangères, de l'intégration africaine et des Ivoiriens de l'extérieur. Je tiens également à féliciter le président Bola Tinubu et son gouvernement pour l'organisation de ce sommet, à la fois stratégique et visionnaire, adossé à la conférence politique des chefs d'État et de gouvernement, qui donnera certainement une nouvelle impulsion à notre volonté commune de bâtir une CEDEAO résolument tournée vers les aspirations des peuples. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, la Côte d'Ivoire accorde une importance capitale à la consolidation de l'intégration économique régionale qui constitue le socle de notre développement commun et notre meilleure réponse à la fragmentation de nos marchés, à la vulnérabilité de nos économies, aux chocs extérieurs et à notre dépendance aux importations. C'est dans cette perspective que nous devons accélérer la mise en place d'un véritable marché commun dont les principaux instruments existent déjà, notamment les protocoles de la CEDEAO sur la libre circulation des personnes et des biens, le schéma de libéralisation des échanges, le tarif extérieur commun. Cette ambition commune rend irréversible l'avènement de la monnaie unique qui est à notre portée. Dans la même dynamique, ce forum est le lieu de réaffirmer notre engagement à concrétiser les projets emblématiques tels que le corridor Abidjan-Lagos, Abidjan-Dakar, ainsi que tous les grands corridors du plan directeur des infrastructures de la CEDEAO qui constituent de véritables accélérateurs de croissance économique et d'échanges intercommunautaires. La prospérité de notre région et la pleine mise en valeur de son énorme potentiel économique et humain repose en grande partie sur le développement des échanges intercommunautaires, qui demeurent malheureusement très bas en comparaison avec ce qui se passe ailleurs, plus de 30-70% dans certaines régions. Ce constat nous interpelle tous sur la nécessité de prendre des mesures courageuses au plan national et communautaire en vue de lever les entraves aux échanges et à la libre circulation. En réalité, il s'agit de nous approprier les recommandations de la Task Force sur le commerce régional qui pointe notamment des pratiques protectionnistes nationales, des barrières non tarifaires, des formalités douanières complexes, des difficultés concernant les règles d'origine, l'insuffisance des infrastructures logistiques. La CEDEAO est un marché et un espace de modernité qui peut et doit nous permettre de résoudre les problèmes sensibles de réchauffement climatique, de l'insécurité alimentaire, de l'immigration de notre jeunesse, de l'emploi des jeunes. L'avenir de notre communauté dépend de notre capacité à répondre aux attentes de notre jeunesse. Mesdames et messieurs, le contexte sécuritaire régional préoccupant dans lequel s'ouvre ce forum et les graves turbulences géopolitiques à l'échelle mondiale menacent les progrès que nous avons accomplis en matière d'intégration régionale. La poursuite de la construction communautaire dépend en conséquence de notre capacité à apporter une réponse collective à la menace terroriste qui fragilise notre région. Dans ce contexte, la sécurité collective doit être au cœur de notre agenda communautaire. Mesdames et messieurs, la Côte d'Ivoire entretient des relations commerciales excellentes avec l'ensemble des pays de la CEDEAO, en conformité avec les dispositions communautaires et continentales dans le cadre de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine. Elle est un marché ouvert, dynamique et attractif pour les investisseurs de la communauté, dont un très grand nombre installés dans mon pays contribue à l'expansion de son économie. Ce sommet m'offre donc l'occasion de les remercier pour leur dynamisme et d'inviter les hommes d'affaires de notre communauté à venir investir en Côte d'Ivoire dans les secteurs économiques de leur choix. En retour, je souhaite ardemment que les mêmes facilités prévues du reste par nos protocoles soient accordées aux investisseurs de mon pays dans notre espace communautaire. Excellences, mesdames et messieurs, ce forum représente une formidable opportunité de porter à un niveau plus élevé l'intégration économique ouest-africaine sur des bases nouvelles pragmatiques, inclusives et concrètes au bénéfice des générations présentes et futures auxquelles nous avons l'impérieux devoir de laisser plus, de léguer plus que nous n'avons reçu des générations précédentes. La Côte d'Ivoire est prête à assumer pleinement sa part au service d'un espace CEDEAO productif et résilient. Je vous remercie de votre aimable attention. Fin de citation.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Thomas Ampem Minyako, Minister of Finance, is representing His Excellency the President of Ghana, His Excellency John Mahama, and he will be speaking on behalf of His Excellency the President of Ghana.
Your Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, Presidents of the other West African countries here present, permit me to stand on the already established protocol to acknowledge everybody here present and to present this address on behalf of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. I am pleased to be part of this gathering and to continue the discussion on the topic, the West African Mandate, Economic Sovereignty and Strategic Leadership. Before I proceed, permit me to express profound gratitude to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his visionary leadership and commendable strategic initiative which has the potential to shift the paradigm in our region from dependency to industrialization. This mandate will serve as a catalyst to transform our fragmented markets into a fully integrated trading hub. In the face of today's geopolitical uncertainties, shifting global power dynamics, and economic turbulence, we in West Africa find ourselves at a historic crossroads. We can either continue to tread the well-worn path of dependency, or we can chart a courageous new course rooted in strategic foresight, economic self-determination, and collective responsibility. For far too long, our region has exported raw materials and imported poverty. We remain vulnerable to external shocks, at the mercy of international lenders, and overly reliant on foreign aid. This must change. There comes a moment in the life of a region when it must ask itself not what it has survived, but what it will become. This is one such moment. We gather here not merely to talk trade or investment, but to chart a path for 420 million West Africans. Not to repeat familiar themes, but to reimagine what is possible when a region rich in resources and richer in resolve chooses unity over fragmentation. We in Ghana believe that the time has come, not for cautious steps, but for courageous leaps. Our region collectively produces over $780 billion in GDP annually, making it the third largest regional economy in Africa. Yet intra-ECOWAS trade accounts barely for 10% of our total trade, compared to over 60% in the EU and 50% in Asia. We are blessed with the largest reserves of rare natural resources, including bauxite, cocoa, gold, and arable land. Yet we lack the integration to transform these blessings into sustainable wealth for our people. Why is it that a mango grown in Burkina Faso reaches Europe faster than it reaches Abuja? Why must a Ghanaian fintech entrepreneur register in Delaware to raise capital from Lagos? The ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme has been in existence for 44 years, yet only 15% of ECOWAS companies benefit from it. Bureaucracy, multiple checkpoints, tariff delays, and fragmented standards choke the arteries of trade. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we must end the slow walk towards integration. Ghana therefore proposes the fast-tracking of the full implementation of ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme across all member states, and the establishment of a regional trade facilitation index to name, shame, and support progress. We also urge the ECOWAS Commission to present annual scorecards with trade performance indicators for each member state. Let's institute a presidential task force on regional trade integration comprising 5 heads of states to drive political momentum and ensure accountability at the highest level. West Africa's future cannot be outsourced. We must build regional value chains to process our gold, to process our bauxite, cocoa, and lithium here in West Africa. We must invest in intra-African trade, leveraging AFTA protocol not only as a continental mechanism, but as a unique West African opportunity, especially given that its secretariat is based in Accra, Ghana. This proximity is a regional asset that we must collectively exploit. Undeniably, we all support the dream of a single currency, the ECO. But while we continue dreaming, our traders struggle. It is reported that in 2024, currency conversion losses alone wiped out an estimated $2.3 billion in regional business value. We propose a regional currency convertibility mechanism backed by the ECOWAS central banks to allow seamless Naira cedi franc transactions via platforms like PAPS. Excellency, for more than 2 decades, we have been working on the adoption of a single currency, ECO. as the beating heart of our regional economic integration, yet it remains just that, work in progress. Our businesses suffer, our traders lose billions, and our youth lose faith. The absence of a common West African currency continues to fragment our economies, hinder investment, and raise the cost of doing business across all our borders. It is time to move from vision to action. Ghana therefore calls for the immediate establishment of a time-bound action plan for the ECO, with clear milestones, institutional responsibilities, and monitoring mechanisms, all under the direct political authority of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. It is time for rehearsing ambition must end. The single currency must not be treated as an eternal aspiration, but as an achievable mission. It is estimated that Africa loses $170 billion annually in trade potential due to infrastructure gaps. Within ECOWAS, over 62% of cross-border roads remain unpaved, and port congestion adds between $300 to $500 per container. Without roads that connect, energy that powers, and logistics that flow, investment and trade cannot blossom. Our infrastructure must be overhauled and integrated by connecting landlocked and coastal states, facilitating inter-regional mobility, and digitizing cross-border trade processes. Above all, it is crucial to cultivate a West African single market mindset that transcends national borders and centers the interests of both citizens and producers. This is the surest way to gain and maintain economic sovereignty. Thus, Ghana proposes the creation of a West Africa Infrastructure Guarantee Facility, a pooled risk instrument to unlock blended finance and de-risk private capital for priority corridors like Lagos, Cotonou, Abidjan. In this regard, Ghana is rolling out the big push for national infrastructure development to boost growth and create sustainable jobs. We are spending also over $3.2 billion in digital public infrastructure, green logistics, and special economic zones. We are expanding our ports, actively exploring avenues to deploy AI in revenue mobilization, and reducing SME tax filing time by 40%. We are ready to host regional logistics, technology, and financial services for the benefit of all ECOWAS members. Your Excellencies, West Africa is home to 1 in every 3 Africans under the age of 25. This is not a demographic trend. It is a continental asset. But our youth are not looking for pity or platitudes. They are seeking a platform. I propose the creation of a West Africa Innovation Passport or Startup Pass, enabling young entrepreneurs to scale solutions across the region. Ghana also offers to host a West African Innovation Sandbox that nurtures ideas, funds prototypes, and opens markets. I further recommend the establishment of a regional innovation fund and an annual Youth in Trade Forum to be co-hosted by Ghana in 2026. The creation of innovation zones across the region, the provision of venture funding, and ensuring that every talented young African can dream and build from home are the way forward. Instead of exporting our talents, it is more prudent to finance them, celebrate them, and scale them up for the benefit of the larger society. Your Excellencies, before I conclude, let me reiterate that trade cannot flourish where democracy is in retreat. Investment does not land where governance is broken. The recent wave of instability and military takeovers in our region is not just a security concern, it is an economic emergency. We must defend democracy as a prerequisite for prosperity. Ghana therefore calls for the creation of an ECOWAS Charter on democratic stability and economic development, linking governance compliance with regional investment support. Let West African leaders recommit to constitutional order, not as an abstract ideal, but as a practical requirement for growth. We cannot unlock trade while our region is locked in conflict. Let this summit be the moment we restore the covenant between economic progress and democratic legitimacy. Let the outcome of this forum in Abuja reflect a summit where we agreed to trade in each other's currencies, a summit where we unlocked finance to build regional roads and rails, a summit where we empowered our youth not with words, but with funding and mobility, a summit where we spoke not as different governments, but as one integrated economy with a shared destiny. Let us leave this venue with a vision where goods move from Abidjan to Accra without delay, a vision where the farmer in Niamey sells to a market in Leone without fear, and a vision where the dreams of our youth are not to emigrate to Europe and other continents, but to invest in Africa for the common good. This is not beyond us. This is within our reach. This is the West African mandate, a mandate that is not only a call to action for political leaders, but also a shared mission for civil society, the private sector, academia, individuals, and the West African diaspora. We all have our contributions to make. We all have our role to play. May God bless West Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up our goodwill ministerial address, I'd like to invite His Excellency Suarez Sambo, Minister of Economy and Regional Integration, representing His Excellency, the President of Guinea-Bissau.
Monsieur o Presidente da República Federal da Nigéria, Presidente em exercício da CDAO, ilustres chefes de Estado e de Governo, distintos ministros, convidados e demais participantes, Senhor Presidente da Comissão da CDAO, minhas senhoras e meus senhores.
Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and current Chairman of ECOWAS, distinguished heads of state and government, President of the ECOWAS Commission, honorable ministers, esteemed guests and participants, ladies and gentlemen.
Tenho a honra e o grande privilégio de vos transmitir a mensagem do Presidente da República da Guiné-Bissau, General Umar Sokembalo. Passo a citar.
First of all, I would like to congratulate President Tinubu on this excellent and timely initiative to organize the present summit.
Quero, em primeiro lugar, felicitar o Presidente Tinubu por esta excelente e oportuna iniciativa de organizar a presente cimeira. Agradeço pelo convite que me dirigiu para participar, bem como pelo acolhimento que nos foi reservado.
I thank you, my brother, for the kind invitation to participate, as well as for the warm welcome we have received.
Excelências, minhas senhoras e meus senhores, a integração econômica não é um simples objetivo, é uma necessidade. Apesar da nossa diversidade demográfica, econômica e monetária, compartilhamos um destino comum. Enfrentamos desafios semelhantes, nomeadamente a falta de meios financeiros adequados, de competências científicas e tecnologias avançadas, mercados fragmentados, infraestruturas insuficientes e obstáculos ao comércio e livre circulação dos bens e serviços entre outros.
Economic integration is not just a goal, it is a necessity. Despite our demographic, economic, and monetary diversity, we share a common destiny. We face similar challenges, namely a lack of adequate financial resources, limited scientific expertise, and advanced technology, fragmented markets, insufficient infrastructure, and barriers to trade and the free movement of goods and services, among others.
Porém, não obstante esses desafios, existem enormes oportunidades. A África Ocidental, com uma população aproximada de 400 milhões de habitantes, oferece vasto mercado de consumidores. No entanto, o comércio intrarregional permanece muito baixo. Ao harmonizar políticas comerciais, reduzir tarefas e melhorar as infraestruturas, podemos explorar melhor o potencial do mercado único integrado. O esquema de liberalização do comércio da CEDEAO, ETLS, e a Zona de Comércio Livre Continental Africana nos oferecem estruturas, mas será a implementação que definirá o nosso sucesso. Devemos passar dos acordos para a ação.
However, despite these challenges, there are enormous opportunities. West Africa, with a population of over 350 million people, offers a vast consumer market. Yet, intra-regional trade remains very low. By harmonizing trade policies, reducing tariffs, and improving infrastructure, we can better harness the potential of a unified and integrated market. The ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, ETLS, and the African Continental Free Trade Agreement provide frameworks.
O investimento é o combustível do desenvolvimento, mas os investidores, locais e estrangeiros, precisam de certeza, transparência e segurança. Para promover investimentos, devemos, primeiro, simplificar as regulamentações e reduzir os entraves burocráticos para abrir e manter empresas. Segundo, proteger os direitos de propriedade e fazer cumprir contratos por meio de sistemas judiciais mais sólidos. Terceiro, investir em infraestrutura, energia, transporte e conectividade digital para que os negócios operem com eficiência. E quarto, criar ambientes macroeconômicos estáveis com políticas fiscais e monetárias sólidas.
We must move from agreements to action. Investment is the fuel for development, but investors, both local and foreign, need certainty, transparency, and security. To promote investment, we must, number one, simplify regulations and reduce bureaucratic obstacles to starting and running businesses. Number two, protect property rights and enforce contracts through stronger judicial systems. Number three, invest in infrastructure, energy, transport, and digital connectivity so that businesses can operate efficiently. And fourthly, create stable macroeconomic environments with sound fiscal and monetary policies.
Além disso, devemos também promover o investimento local, apoiando nossas PMEs e startups, que são os verdadeiros motores da criação de empregos e inovação. Parcerias público-privadas podem ajudar a preencher lacunas de financiamento, enquanto instituições financeiras de desenvolvimento e fundos soberanos podem ter papel catalisador. No século XXI, o desenvolvimento não é movido por matérias-primas, mas por ideias e tecnologia.
In addition, we must also promote local investment by supporting our SMEs and startups, which are the true engines of job creation and innovation. Public-private partnerships can help fill financing gaps, while development finance institutions and sovereign wealth funds can play a catalytic role. In the 21st century, development is not driven by raw materials, but by ideas and technology.
Parcerias de inovação transfronteiriças podem nos ajudar a compartilhar conhecimento, criar infraestruturas tecnológicas, promover a governação eletrônica, desenvolver soluções regionais, promover a colaboração entre universidades, centros de pesquisas, startups e criar empregos que mantenham nossos jovens e talentos no continente.
Cross-border innovation partnerships can help us share knowledge, build technological infrastructure, promote e-governance, develop regional solutions, encourage collaborations between universities, research centers, and startups, as well as create jobs that retain our youth and talent on the continent.
Excelências, minhas senhoras e meus senhores, nenhum desses objetivos, integração econômica, promoção de investimentos, inovação, pode ser alcançado isoladamente. Eles exigem liderança estável, visão, boa governação e, acima de tudo, apropriação e colaboração entre todos. Todos os governos devem trabalhar em conjunto. O setor privado deve ser fortalecido e envolvido na construção de infraestruturas, de plataformas digitais e prestação de serviço. A sociedade civil, os jovens e a diáspora devem fazer parte do processo. E é necessário envolver os nossos parceiros internacionais e alinhar as iniciativas dos doadores com as prioridades nacionais e regionais, evitando duplicações. Ao concluir, gostaria de lembrar que a África Ocidental é rica, não apenas em recursos naturais, mas também em potencial humano. Ao promover a estabilidade política, a paz, a integração econômica, ao incentivar investimentos estratégicos e abraçar a inovação, podemos construir uma região próspera, resiliente e melhor preparada para, com sucesso, enfrentar os desafios presentes e futuros. Muito obrigado pela vossa amável atenção e fim da citação.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, none of these objectives, economic integration, investment promotion, innovation, can be achieved in isolation. They require stable leadership. Stable leadership, vision, good governance, and above all, ownership and collaboration among all stakeholders. Governments must work together, the private sector must be empowered and involved in building infrastructure, digital platforms, and service delivery. Civil society, youth, and the diaspora must be a part of the process, and we must engage our international partners and align donor initiatives with national and regional priorities, avoiding duplication. In conclusion, I would like to remind everyone that West Africa is rich, not only in natural resources, but also in human potential. By promoting political stability, peace, economic integration, encouraging strategic investments, and embracing innovation, we can build a prosperous, resilient region, better prepared to successfully face present and future challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister from Guinea-Bissau. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to acknowledge here that in the last 3 or 4 hours, Professor Jeffrey Sachs has been with us via Zoom. He has been with us via Zoom. This is a global economist and development expert. Prof, I'm sure you are watching and you are listening to me. Thank you very much for your time and patience. After some of these ceremonies, we'll come back to you so I can talk to all of us from here. Let me also say thank you to the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister for the Economy. We'll come back to you as we resume our goodwill messages immediately after this. So, Your Excellencies, we'll now be inviting these 4 ministers for the signing of the bilateral agreement between Nigeria and the Republic of Benin. On the side of Nigeria, let me welcome here the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade, and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole. And from the Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odimegu Ojukwu. And on the side of Benin Republic, Meshadia Alimotu Asoman, And the counterpart on the foreigner side is Olusegun Ajadi Bakare. So foreign affairs at the back, the trade minister seated, and then we'll have the support in the presence of the two presidents. This is wonderful. Trade and investment cooperation between Nigeria and Benin Republic. Now there's exchange of agreement. But what I noticed here is that the African women have come of age.
Yes.
We have 4 ministers on stage, only 1 is a man.
Un accord historique entre le Nigeria et le Benin.
Congratulations, Nigeria and Republic of Benin. And for the minister that is only man here, you are blessed. And so, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back to our goodwill messages, but for now, we shall be taking the Nigerian anthem and the ECOWAS anthem, and then we'll close this. Okay. All right. Okay.
Your Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Excellencies, Heads of State, ladies and gentlemen participating at the West African Economic Summit 2025. My heartiest congratulations to all of you. At this pivotal moment for our region, you have come together to unlock trade and investment opportunities to drive growth and job creation for West Africa's nearly 460 million people, half of them under the age of 18. I wish I could have joined you in Abuja, but it is an honor, personally and professionally, to share this message. An honor because I'm so proud to call this sub-region home. Because ECOWAS was the first bloc to support my candidacy when I was running to become the WTO Director General. But especially because I know that the trade and investment ties you're working to catalyze within the region and with the rest of the world are so vital for the innovation and economic transformation we need for a more prosperous future. We have so much to build on. A $500 billion regional economy with a dynamic and entrepreneurial population, rich critical mineral and energy resources. West African creative industries are really hot, and not just at home. Wherever my travels take me, I increasingly encounter the region's cultural exports, from music and film to fashion, literature, and food. Finance and agriculture are starting to come together as embodied by Côte d'Ivoire's new commodities exchange, which could eventually become a force for transparent markets, higher incomes, and reduced volatility for agricultural producers from across the region. I often say that the future of trade is services, it's digital, and it's green. And with our educated and connected young people, thriving tech startups, and vast renewable energy potential, we are well positioned for it, provided we can offer the right enabling environment. But we also need to build up manufacturing capacity, and meetings like this one have a critical role to play in this regard. If each of our countries works alone, it is unlikely that we'll be able to build efficient value chains or attract the investment we need. However, if ECOWAS can think in terms of sub-regional value chains, our markets and scale economies become bigger and more attractive to investors. The pharmaceutical industry is one promising sector, and the COVID-19 pandemic experience of being bumped to the back of the queue for vaccines was a reminder of why the continent needs to produce more pharmaceutical products at home. Senegal, with its Institut Pasteur de Dakar, is a potential hub for vaccines. Other parts of the pharmaceutical ecosystem, research, production, fill and finish operations, and so forth, could be built in other countries. And in fact, I think that in Nigeria, part of that ecosystem is already being put in place. We should also seek to leverage our green comparative advantage by building out solar and wind energy capacity to power critical minerals processing in the sub-region. Can we move up the electric value chain and start making battery components and even automobiles? In the services space, we have seen some tech companies like Jumia and Flutterwave of Nigeria start to operate across borders in the region, showing the way for others. We could also aim to have more sub-regional trade and tourism that is driven by the cultural industries. To build regional value chains, we need to tackle the trade barriers, non-tariff frictions, and physical, regulatory, and digital infrastructure gaps that have historically held back trade in West Africa and indeed across the continent. We need to lower trade costs that remain among the world's highest and give full effect to the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and ECOWAS-wide integration. This summit offers an unparalleled platform to address such challenges and find practical ways forward. I wish you the very best for a productive summit. Let us seize this opportunity to come together in common purpose, anchored by our rich cultural heritage, and build a West Africa where our young people find boundless opportunities for a better future. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a real pleasure to join you at the 2025 West Africa Economic Summit. I thank the Government of Nigeria and ECOWAS for hosting this timely gathering at a critical juncture for our region and our continent. I would also like to commend President Tinubu for his steadfast leadership and commitment during these challenging times. Excellencies, this year's theme, Unlocking Trade and Investment Opportunities, speaks to the urgency of accelerating regional integration as a lever for transformation. By 2035, deeper integration could add nearly $140 billion to West Africa's GDP and lift more than 30 million people out of extreme poverty across Africa. Through bold political will and strong institutions, ECOWAS continues to chart a path towards shared prosperity, advancing economic cooperation, building resilience, and demonstrating the power of collective leadership. However, at the same time, we must recognize the serious challenges that threaten progress: political instability, security risks, climate impacts, and rising inequality. These are not isolated issues. They are deeply interconnected, and they demand coordinated African-led responses. The strides made in infrastructure, such as the strategic Dakar-Lagos and Abidjan-Ouagadougou-Niamey corridors, are already catalyzing the movement of people, goods, and ideas. And the African Continental Free Trade Area offers a historic opportunity to deepen intra-African trade, expand regional value chains, and unlock public and private finance. These efforts are central to achieving both Agenda 2030 and Agenda 2063, our shared roadmaps for people, planet, and prosperity. Excellencies, in 2023, foreign direct investment in ECOWAS countries reached $12 billion, and regional exports totaled $130 billion. Yet, intra-ECOWAS trade stands at just 11%. This is a gap that must be closed if our region is to realize its economic ambitions. We must also ensure that trade and investment work for everyone. Women already contribute over 30% of West Africa's GDP through enterprise, and with 60% of our population under 25, youth are a major force for innovation and growth. Empowering them is not just good policy, it is a strategic imperative. The upcoming 4th International Conference on Financing for Development in Spain will be a critical moment. The current international financial architecture is failing developing countries, especially in Africa. Africa needs and deserves a seat at the table in financial institutions and a strong, united voice to press for a system that is fair, inclusive, and fit for purpose. This includes engaging credit rating agencies to reflect the real risk, not bias, addressing unsustainable debt burdens, and ensuring access to long-term affordable and concessional financing that allows our countries to invest in development, not just manage crisis. Technology and digital infrastructure also hold vast potential, but the digital divide must be addressed. With smart governance and inclusive investment in digital infrastructure, West Africa can leapfrog into a new era of equitable growth. The benefits of the 4th Industrial Revolution must be accessible to all, especially in rural and underserved communities. Excellencies, ECOWAS member states are not merely recipients of UN support. They are integral members through its member states and through the people that it serves. Our UN presence with our resident coordinators and country teams are at your disposal as partners and allies in advancing a peaceful, resilient and integrated West Africa, a region that not only drives Africa's economic future, but also shapes the global agenda. Let this summit be a turning point, one that responds to the current realities and complexities while delivering concrete solutions, forging lasting partnerships, and unlocking the full promise of our people. Now is the time to be reminded of our forefathers' founding vision for ECOWAS. It is not just a union of states, it is a union of its people. Let us rise to the challenge in solidarity. Thank you.
the two women are illustrious daughters of the continent and the region, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. Wherever they are, their spirits, their hearts are with our continent. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the next 1 minute, we shall be taking a break and to have lunch. But to just sign us off, in not more than 1 minute, let me invite the Honorable Minister of Finance to do a quick vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, and thank you. His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Your Excellencies, Presidents Patrice Talon, Joseph Okai, Julius Mada, you, and Honorable Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to express deep appreciation for all of us here today. In particular, let me say to our colleagues, our participants from across West Africa, bonjour et bienvenue. Let me express deep appreciation to President Bola Ahmed. Let me express deep appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for approving the hosting of this historic first West Africa Summit. Let me appreciate my brother, my colleague, the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, in particular, but all who have put together this important West Africa Economic Summit. It is historic. It is, as Ambassador Tuga says, not a single summit. It is one that we are going to have many additions of. All that needs to be said about regional integration, its importance for unlocking the values that are in our region has been said. And what really, I think, is left to be emphasized in particular is that the private sector has a critical role to play in bringing together and helping to realize the good intentions of governments in laying a proper macroeconomic foundation that allows for economic stability. But our business leaders, our industrialists, our private sector operators need to come to the table so that we can achieve success. On that note, let me once again extend our gratitude to all that have come together to make this such a success. And let us, in the spirit of unity, continue to strive towards economic integration and the moving up out of poverty of the people of our region. 430 million people of West Africa are looking to us. As President Talon has said, we must get this done. Let us do it. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of the summit. God bless.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Let me one more time appeal and apologize to Professor Jeffrey Sachs. Immediately after the break, we will come back to you. You'll address us. But Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking a break now, but shall we all rise for the national anthem of Nigeria and ECOWAS to ease off our own president. His Excellency the President of Nigeria will now be going on the tour of the room. Professor Jeffrey Sachs, one more time I apologize to you. Immediately after the break, we'll come back to you. Then our